Wait. Okay.
Mausie was my father's mother, and she had 3 children and lost all her teeth in 5 years. And she lived, at that time it was a depression.
So how old was she? Like 28 or something?
You know, she was in her early 20s, I think. And they lived with her mother-in-law, who her husband would have to come home and bring his paycheck and give it to her. And then she would do the household. And anyway, Mausie was a very independent person, and she didn't like that. So she left. And she left her 3 children and her husband. And she went to New York at first and painted bowls. Not bowls. She painted really large vases. This is one that she painted. And she, see, it has right here her name and everything where it was.
See, now I didn't know she painted that bowl.
Let me see.
It was.
What her name is. Oh, whoops, Olive. 45 Olive. Where's her name? Oh, right there.
Yeah.
McConnell.
Well, see, that's the name, and
Oh.
but see, she wasn't
Divorced.
No, she was divorced from my grandfather. But anyway, when she was in New York,
This would have been in the 30s? Or the 20s? You were born in the
You
30s.
should take that to, not to sell it, but just take it to whenever they do the farmers, that antique roadshow thing.
Oh, Mom, you should.
And see what they say about that.
it was made in Germany.
So she went to New York in the 20s. Granddaddy was born in the 20s? No, they were born in the teens.
My daddy was born in 1913.
My dad was born in 09.
Oh, so, and how old was Granddaddy when she first left?
He was about 4.
So it was the early teens that she went to New York.
So anyway, she painted very huge vases, but her daughter got those and took them to Florida. And nobody, I'm the only one on my side of the family that has anything that she painted. So anyway, she was in showing these in different art exhibits and so forth. But she ended up in Alabama. And one thing that happened while she was there, well, she married this McConnell man, and he beat her. And so she just waited for him to wake up, and there she sat with the baseball bat.
You could go to sleep. I thought it was a frying pan.
Well, she said, okay, either a baseball bat.
Either one works.
Oh, heaven.
Most people have a frying pan in the house. They don't have a baseball bat.
She said, if you ever touch me again or hit me again, you'll go to sleep sometime. And then I will fix you. So he never...
You won't wake up.
Yeah.
It's a good thing we're already telling these stories because I remember.
I'd never heard that. I didn't know her second husband either. That's why she was like she was, I guess.
She waited till he went to sleep. Was it her second or after that?
So that was her second husband. So then she decided, well, I want my children. So she came back to Roanoke. And this is the part I don't know, where she divorced him before she married my grandfather again the second time. But she only came back to marry him and get her children. So she, she came back and she stayed a few weeks, and she was all dressed up in finery, and everybody was so impressed with her. And then she took her children on the train to Alabama. So my grandfather got a private detective to track her down. And so one day...
This is in the 30s. This is a big scandal.
Yeah, it was a big scandal in the paper. And my father said that he was out in the yard playing, and this man just drove up in a car and just scooped him up and his sister, but I don't think she took her with her. It was her youngest child, and brought him back to Roanoke.
And that was the detective?
You know, the detective that did that. And so then they went and lived with his grandmother. And you could not ever, nobody, Mausie hated that woman, but she couldn't say a bad word against her because my daddy would just throw her out. Nobody could say a bad thing about her because that was his special grandmother that raised him.
What was her name?
Her name was Molly.
Oh.
Wonder why they didn't name young Molly.
None of them were special enough.
And so Mausie then, she went on back and married another man and lived in Florida, but she finally came back to Roanoke. And my father wouldn't let her in the house, but his sister did, and so she became very involved with Anita's family, but she would come to our house, Daddy could let her come, and she would sit there and talk about the Aldridges all day. And then as soon as he would get mad, Sooner or later say something, kind of made me mad, and then she'd have to leave it, she wouldn't stay very long, and we don't have, my brothers and sisters don't have no problem.